Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the very first episode of the 6Skates Fingerboard Podcast. This is a brand new podcast all about fingerboarding, products, brands, and most importantly, the people behind them. If you're here, chances you already know a thing or two about fingerboarding. Maybe you're deep into the scene, you like collecting decks, setting up the perfect trucks, or hunting for the ultimate fingerboard feel. Or maybe you're just getting started. We were all beginners once, and figuring out what makes a good setup and who the key players in this scene are is difficult sometimes. Either way, this podcast's for you. So, what can you expect from the 6Skates podcast? This isn't just another place to talk about tricks or setups, though let's be real, we'll definitely get to that sometimes. The real focus here is on the products and the people behind the brands that make them. We'll be talking to fingerboard makers, brand owners, and the creative minds who push this great scene forward. We'll dig into how fingerboard companies got started, from passion projects to full-blown businesses, what goes into making high-quality decks, trucks, wheels, and obstacles, because not all products are created equal. The challenges and wins of running a fingerboard brand and company, and the behind-the-scenes stuff that you don't always hear about. Whether it's the handcrafted precision of a custom deck, or the dedication of a small business keeping the culture of fingerboarding alive, we're here to shine a light on all of it. So a bit about 6Skates. We're Canada's only dedicated fingerboard shop and park. We're located at 1936 Danforth Avenue in Toronto, and we're passionate about supporting and growing the fingerboard community, both locally and worldwide. So what makes us different? Why should we have a podcast talking about products? Well, we're in a unique position to see these amazing products every day because we have so much of them in stock. We've got trucks, wheels, and obstacles, and we're constantly researching and testing new ones. If you're ever in the area, definitely come visit us in person. And if not, check us out online at 6skates.com to see what's new. So why this podcast? Fingerboarding has come a long way from being just a toy you messed with in school. It's a legit scene with real craftsmanship, design, and innovation, and a global community, let me tell you. It keeps things alive and fresh. But while we see the products and follow the brands online, we don't always get to hear the stories behind them. This podcast is about giving those stories a space and a place where the makers and shapers of the fingerboard world can share their journeys. So, what's coming up? Since this is the first episode, consider it a quick intro. But in the next few episodes, we'll start bringing on some special guests, owners of your favorite brands or your next favorite brand, fingerboard designers, and maybe even some team riders who have insight into the products they use every day. A sneak peek at the very first episode. We're kicking things off strong with a conversation with Joao Rodriguez. That's right, the name's not too hard for me, the founder of Truck Loops. Joao started Truck Loops in December 2022 as a passion project, combining his passion for fingerboarding with the celebration of his Portuguese and European culture. What began as a simple hashtag under his personal Instagram account, @NamesTooHardForUFB, has now evolved into a full-fledged brand. We'll talk about the evolution of Truck Loops, expanding from O-rings to include lock nuts, apparel, and handcrafted wooden decks. We'll also talk about how Truck Loops blends Portuguese culture and language into their products. We'll talk about the importance of community, as Truck Loops has proudly attended, sponsored, and hosted multiple fingerboard events here at 6Skates and all around the world. We'll talk about their talented team riders from both Canada and the United States. And if you've ever been curious about what goes into crafting high-quality fingerboard products or how cultural influence can shape a brand, you won't want to miss this conversation. And that's just the beginning. We've got lots of amazing guests lined up. So if you're as hyped on fingerboarding as we are, stick around. There's a lot to talk about, and we're just getting started. If you want to keep up with future episodes, you know what to do. Sorry, not going to do it. I thought I could, but I can't. I'm not that guy. No pressure here. If you like it, you'll find it. If you want to, you'll listen. No pressure, just good fingerboarding talk here at the 6Skates podcast. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode of the 6Skates Fingerboard Podcast.